Hello everyone, this is my teaching memo for session 2. Rained up here in Dutchess County most of the weekend. Seems that whenever the weather warms up, you still can't go outside because of the rain. I wanted to share with you a Facebook page that I use to keep my former students up to speed with the latest assessment news and just good education articles. You can find the page on the link in the teaching memo. I'll click on it here. You can see this is my this is my 640 assessment page with various articles on it. It's got the old name of the course on it, EDSE, but still good stuff, and it'll keep you up to date on what I have been doing and reading and adding to my Facebook page. Housekeeping for this session. The assessment literacy discussion board is officially closed and you can no longer comment. There were many of you who waited to the last minute to post, and some of you did not use the readings, my presentation, or other relevant information to support your response comments. According to the rubric, you need to cite a source in at least 4 of your 5 responses or 5 of your 10 responses if you're getting an A+. I want to encourage conversation, but I want to apply what you are learning to go deeper by sharing new information. Would also suggest that to maximize your learning, you search for my comments in the discussion board and take a crack at responding. I may be posing a question or sharing an article to someone specific, but anyone can jump in, and usually I say at all or and anyone else. Several of you took that risk this session. You can find my post by using the search feature in the upper right corner of the initial thread. And I'll take you to that right now just to show you where that is. Okay, if you see there's a search button right here, type in Mowini in the search engine in the blank, hit go, and it should come up with all of my posts. Go. And there they are. As you can see, I'm very active in the discussion boards, and you can, and that's it. So that's how you can find my posts if you don't want to go through the individual groups to look for me. Just a reminder that you should be filling out your vocabulary in your own words, worksheets, and your final baseline survey. You can find both of those at the bottom of each session's information as anchor activities. I think I've mentioned those before. I want to talk about session 1 and session 2 assignments. As I mentioned, the assessment literacy DB is now closed. I'll be grading it this week. For your information, each discussion board as well as each double entry journal, you have your first one this week, will increase in weight as the course goes on. This is a grading system that accounts for students' use of feedback as the course continues. Your final discussion board and double entry journal will carry the most weight. So make sure you check your feedback that I give you after every assignment. And you can do that by just clicking on either the assignment in My Grades or going in to the assignment itself and clicking on it. But the best way to do it is go into My Grades and then click on the assignment. You'll see the feedback. I've made comments on your initial baseline survey and your initial discussion board post. When you check your grade, you will see either highlighting or a blue marker. This is new this semester. And you can see that there is highlighting here. If you put your cursor on it, you'll see that I have comments. And there's also these little blue markers. If you put the cursor on it, you'll see the comment. So that's new this semester to Blackboard. I'm not sure why they did that, but that's what they did, and you can see comments that way. So I just wanted to point that out to you. The last two session discussion boards was an introductory one where pretty much anything assessment-wise was fair game. Many of you mentioned such hot topics as teaching to the test, using assessment results to evaluate teachers and promote students, the use of formative assessment, and your aversion or support of large-scale standardized testing process. Many of you took the time to share some very helpful websites. That's what gets me excited about teaching this course. I am the lead learner, or the head learner, or the learner of the learners. In the second half of the discussion board, I added a teaching memo post, which was more in line with the second session topic, special education assessment. I was very happy to see many of you take a shot at it, at my query. Some of you sided with Jane, and some of you chided her. I would recommend downloading the Lavoie 2008 article. If you click on that link, you'll see it. There it is, Fighting the Good Fight, How to Advocate for Your Students Without Losing Your Job, which I thought was very appropriate for the difference of opinion article about Jane and her overzealousness with Oscar. Many of you supported her and said, yes, that's the way we should be. But as a high school principal, if Jane were my teacher, she would likely have received a counseling letter. It's a good thing to fight for your kids, but there's also a protocol that needs to be followed. Undermining your boss is not on that protocol list. Many of you mentioned formative assessment. I'm sharing two articles that are often cited about formative assessment. The original one is by Black and William. This is 1998. They wrote this, and it's been cited by hundreds and hundreds of different articles. It's cited in our Popham text. It's cited in the Chapui et al. Text. And there's also a follow-up article to that, the Working Inside the Black Box by Black, Harrison, Lee, Marshall, and Willem. That's Willem, not William. So I've also shared those with you in my teaching memo. In that latter article, the authors mentioned three issues they found with current practice. The assessment methods that teachers use are not effective in promoting good learning. 2, grading practices tend to emphasize competition rather than personal improvement. And 3, assessment feedback often has negative impact, particularly on low achieving students who are led to believe that they lack ability and are not able to learn. So we need to be promoting a growth mindset when we give feedback, that your effort is what is going to make you achieve higher, not your mental ability. The most commonly used formative assessment in my experience, and what I've read on even our own discussion board, is the exit ticket. So I shared what I think is a great article by Bob Marzano. You can click on it here, and it's the many uses of the exit slips. And he gives 4 different ways, 4 kinds of prompts that provide formative assessment data, which most of us talked about, prompts that stimulate student self-analysis, prompts that focus on instructional strategies, and prompts that are open communications to the teacher. So that's a real powerful article, so I would recommend downloading that as well. All this good stuff I'm giving you folks. I will try to highlight a few exemplary posts in the coming teaching memos, so don't feel ignored if you shared something wonderful and they didn't mention it. There are way too many good posts for me to document here. That's it for my teaching memo. I will be back with assignments for session 3. There are a lot of stuff going on in session 3, so make sure you watch my assignment video.